Big 3. Yeah! 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 Big 3, come on. Yeah! 3. Now that's a magic number. Got the homies balling out for the whole damn summer in that 4-point circle with that ghost ball of purple. If you check the roster, got a 3-hand monster. Now them killer threes are like killer bees. Start dropping threes like trilogies, like companies, like PIGs. Got them ball hogs hogging that 3-on-3. We got the power to do it BIG. We got tri-state coached by the DOC, so don't hate on Lisa Leslie the Great. It's Nancy Lieberman, head coach, leading man. We got new teams, we got new schemes. We got bivouacs, aliens, and enemies. And they coached by the glove, commissions the Glide. Coached by the Oak, coached by the Iceman. No fight, 10 had to warn Rick Mahorn. They told Rick Barry half court looks scary, but it ain't. Unless you caught in the paint. On the give it go with ISO Joe. If you wanna bring the fire, it burn you slow. This is 5-on-3 and that's Swaggy P. Cause we taking the summer and displaying the best. This is the Big 3 on CBS.
Oh yeah, Chicago. We are in the Windy City and bringing the fire here on CBS leading up to the first day of this 5th Big 3 season. Now what a setting here in Chicago, Illinois. And welcome, I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by the little general of the Big 3. It's Avery Johnson, and we are back for a 5th Big 3 season.
So excited to be back with you, Ed. And every successful business has great ownership. Ice Cube is doing an amazing job. Clyde Drexler, the commissioner. And then the players, Joe Johnson, and coaches like George the Iceman Gerving. GP, are you with me? Gary Payton. I'm so fired up for this 5th year of the Big 3 season.
This is a players' league, and this day begins with the main event. Look at our triple header here on CBS, beginning with the past 2 champions, triplets, and last year's winner, Trilogy, followed by a battle of debuts. Michael Beasley for Three's Company against Bivouac's Gerald Green, and it closes out with the Three-Headed Monsters. Last year, losing in the final against Trilogy, they will take on the Ghost Ballers all 3 games here on CBS. Well, whenever you enter a new season, it's always ripe with preseason storylines. A big one, and we'll defer to you, Coach, is a coaching change. Gary Payton going from the Three-Headed Monsters to Bivouac, and Reggie Theus will coach the veteran Three-Headed Monsters this year.
Yeah, and we'll see what Gary Payton can do now. His son, Gary Payton II, they've all been celebrating with that Golden State Warriors championship win. Can he make a difference with a team that was winless last year in the Big 3?
Avery, 3-point shooting, 4-point shooting, always critical in this league.
Yeah, and Joe Johnson, his range is when he gets out of his car before he enters the arena. Joe Johnson can really cause havoc from that 4-point shot.
And of course, you just don't know who's going to show up.
And Kanye West, is that Kanye? And Jason Kidd, who did a magnificent job with the Dallas Mavericks, leading them to the Western Conference Finals. You never know who's going to show up in terms of the entertainers and celebrities at the Big 3 games.
And of course, they want to watch some of the stars in 3-on-3 basketball. And you look at last year's top scorers, Dante Green and the Killer Threes, he led an amazing pack of top scorers.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Leandro Barbosa, another guy that was part of that Golden Warriors championship team. And ISO Joe, the reigning Big 3 MVP, he's hard to guard.
Well, you look at who's new. Obviously, there are always changes entering every season, certainly here in the top professional 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Speaking of changes, the Ball Hogs enduring some of their own. The captain from last year, Brian Scalabrine, is gone. Look at Scal's numbers. All right, 4 seasons, averaged under 2 points per game. The record not where he wanted it to be, but guess what? Scal has taken the prudent approach. He's given up his sneakers, and he's picking up the microphone with us. Scal, welcome to the broadcast team.
After you look at those stats, you know why I'm now sitting over here, right? So yeah, you know what's unique about the Big 3 is there's a lot of people who are really interested in 3-on-3. It's going international, it's going to the youth level. But a lot of these guys play for different reasons. Some of the veterans are playing because they feel like they still have it. Some guys who have never made it to the NBA are getting an opportunity to go against some of these guys. And for me, it was an opportunity for my kids who were really young to see that 1.5 points per game.
Oh, we're happy you posted those numbers. We're more happy that you're with us here on CBS, our coverage throughout the season in this 5th Big 3 season. All right, the co-founder Ice Cube will join us leading up to day 1 from Chicago, and later Big 3 trivia with Avery coming up on CBS.
Think he's posting about all that ancient Roman coinage? No. He's seizing the moment with Merrill, moving his money into his investment account in real time. And that's how you collect coins.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill, a Bank of America company.
Get official Big 3 merch at store.big3.com. You can get league and team apparel, including jerseys, jackets, hats, and more. Store.big3.com.
And the next pick in the 2022 NBA draft is Johnny Davis.
Let me tell you about Johnny Davis. This kid is special with a capital S. He's an incredible shooting guard.
The toasted cheddar chalupa is back, only at Taco Bell.
Athletes shouldn't be the only ones making a bag off sports. No. How is he doing it?
Three's Company 4.
Big 3 is a league that puts a twist on this sport, like scoring with 4-pointers. Nancy.
What is basketball?
Yes.
Oh, you saw that on Jeopardy. Well, he's the co-founder of the Big 3, and he's joining us now. Avery?
Who is Ice Cube?
Yeah.
I could get that right. Yeah.
Well, it's great to be here with you for season 5. I mean, every year opening day, it's always so exciting. What has you most excited about this new Big 3 season?
The talent. You know, we have extraordinary talent. All these guys are stacked. All these teams are stacked, and they're ready to play. I think they know what to expect. You know, it's no more surprises in the Big 3. They know it's going to be fast. They know it's going to be physical, and they're ready to go.
Cube, we talked about this earlier. I think you provided such great leadership for the Big 3, and you got to make tough decisions. Are we going to ever get back to the 9-city, 10-city tour with the Big 3? I know we're in Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta. Give us some thoughts on that.
Yeah, the Big 3 was built to travel. You know, that's why the league is great. Unfortunately, we've been dealing with a pandemic. You know, now we got to look out for monkeypox and all these things. So we have to stay contained, because something like that could affect the whole league, not just one team, but the whole league, because we're all together. So we just got to play it safe this year.
Yeah, Cube, you mentioned the excitement, the players, the talent level. It's always great when you bring in new blood, and you think about Gerald Green with Bivouac, Michael Beasley with Three's Company. You were excited to bring these guys into the league. What has you most excited about their arrival this season?
I know they can play. You know, I know they can ball. I know they built for the Big 3. We also got Corey Brewer coming in, you know, which is great. So, hey, new blood into the league is needed every year. We expect big names to come in and play and show us they still got game.
Hey, Cube, you know I'm a former Spur, and one of my dreams is to have guys like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili play in the Big 3.
If they still got something in the tank, come on and give it to us. You know, this is for guys that's really still, that have that chip on their shoulder, still ready to play, still ready to show people what they can do at a high level. So if they ready, here we are. If not, stay retired.
Well, it's not just the players and what they do for this league. It's the rules that really make this brand of basketball unique. I know that's very special to you and everyone at the Big 3.
Yeah, you know, we had to come with our own wrinkles. You know, the NBA is the best at it in the world. We wanted to come with a game that was unique to us. The 4-point shot, bringing the fire, no game clock, one-shot free throws, makes the game fast and fun.
Q, tell me the truth. I'm 57. Can I come out of retirement and play in the Big 3?
Come to a practice and let me see what you got. And I can't tell you no. You know you're a champion. But after you see these guys go, you might want to come sit back down and grab this microphone.
He's also Coach Avery Johnson, so you never know.
Hey, when we expand, your name will definitely be in the hat.
Yeah, Cube, something really big for this season with the Big 3, NFT ownership. What it means for fans, what it means to be involved, owning a Big 3 team. How has that evolved and really helped bring some much-needed energy to the league?
Well, we're not connected to any cities, so being connected to these communities are great. They've given us a lot of energy. There's a lot of talent in these communities that we hope to mine, and, so to speak. So we want people to be a part of this, not just watch on the sidelines, but come be a part of these great communities, be a part of this great league.
So, Cube, I'm on social media a lot. I saw the name Gary V. Is that the Gary V that I think it is?
You know it is, He owns the triplets. He's been a great ambassador for us to push the NFTs. Even though crypto is down, this is a long play. Come play with us.
We're bringing the fire, getting ready for this first day of the Big 3 season. First game, trilogies and triplets. That's coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to come back with Cube when we come back. But first, we've talked about NFT ownership, what it means to the Big 3. Fans, yes, they get the ultimate honor in owning a Big 3 team. Check it out.
Get your own piece of the Big 3. Freshly minted gold tier NFTs available now. VIP tickets and experiences. Meet and greets, game day parties, merchandise and IP rights, video cards, voting rights, championship rings, and much, much more. Create your own content with Big 3 IP.
Got the
Big 3 Gold Tier. Once it's sold out, it will never be offered again.
He just caught a body!
Unlock your own VIP experiences that will last forever.
In your face!
Go to mint.big3.com now.
Getting ready for opening day, season 5 of the Big 3. Steven Jackson last year leading Trilogy to the title. And obviously, the mission is clear as they look to go back to back.
In 2021, Trilogy took to the court in a quest to become the first Big 3 team to win championship rings twice. Right away, Trilogy put the ball in the hands of rookie Jarrett Jack, and their first game ended in a very fitting way.
Jack the pull-up, Trilogy to victory in Vegas.
The regular season took many twists and turns, but one name continued to pop up.
Jack for the win. Got it!
Trilogy finished 4th in the regular season, just enough to qualify for the playoffs. They arrived in the Bahamas and got down to business against top seed Tri-State.
Our first 4-point game, Jack for 3! What a game! 50 points, and Trilogy punches his ticket to the championship.
The championship game was billed as the Brawl in the Bahamas, for good reason. Gary Payton's three-headed monsters were aggressive and ran away to a 13-point lead by halftime. But Trilogy mounted a furious comeback with a weapon that wasn't so secret anymore. Jarrett Jack.
Jarrett Jack! The 3! Got it! And the win!
Trilogy captured the crown.
Man, to be honest, man, this is crazy. My first time hitting a game winner in front of my son, so I'm happy for him to be part of it.
Trilogy, your 2021 Big 3 champions!
A great scene last year in the Bahamas. Trilogy, their second title in 40 years. By the way, Big 3 back in the Bahamas end of this season for All-Star Weekend. But guys, as we look ahead to this new Big 3 season, Cube, obviously it's everyone's goal to beat the defending champions. Trilogy, a worthy champ last year.
Yeah, they came from the 4th seed to win the whole thing. Jarrett Jack was amazing. We miss him this year. Come back if you want to strap up one of these years in the future. But look, they retooled. They got Earl Clark now. A couple other players that's going to, hopefully bring them to back-to-back championships. We never had one in the Big 3. They're looking to be the first.
Cube, when you look at the deep pool of talent that we have in the Big 3 this year, probably the deepest that I've seen since I've been around the Big 3. But specifically, talk about Joe Johnson and how his contribution and how his partnership with the Big 3 has been so special.
Hey, the two-time MVP, he's elevated the level of play in the league. Everybody's chasing him. And look, it's great to have, a front runner out there, a guy who take care of his body, a guy who's a true pro, to still be out there showing these youngsters how to do it.
So you look at the contenders in the Big 3. We talked about Trilogy, talked about the triplets. They're obviously starting this triple header today on CBS, but you look at the 12 teams overall, some additions, some continuity as well. Who are some teams you think can really make a run besides the front runners and the last two champions?
Oh, man, we're stacked from top to bottom. Will it be the Aliens? The Bivouac are retooled. You never know who's going to be the one standing with the Dr. J trophy at the end of the season. Power is not playing. You can just go up and down the list to see who's going to be great this year.
These guys are intriguing. The Aliens, coached by Rick Mahorn, 2-4 last year, but they had Dushan Bullet and a lot of players he knows very well from over in Europe.
Yeah, he brought in a lot of guys he played with during FIBA, and we're going to see if it translates. The Big 3 is a different style, but we think these guys can play at any level, anywhere.
And Cube, I know Joe Johnson had a little bit of a stint there with the Boston Celtics, but I love how you want these guys not only to be successful in the Big 3, but if they can get an opportunity to make an NBA roster, play overseas, you just want them to be successful with the game of basketball while carrying the Big 3 torch.
Without a doubt, to me, it's apples and oranges. We play 3-on-3, they play 5-on-5. We'd love for them to go into the league in any way, shape, or form and be a part of the NBA. We welcome them, we help them. Anything we could do to help them get to the next level, why not?
Well, you look at the great players in this league's history. It all began with Rashard Lewis, still with the Three-Headed Monsters, MVP year 1 in 2017. But if there's a guy who's established himself as the GOAT so far in the Big 3, it's the two-time reigning MVP, Joe Johnson, and he is motivated to get the triplets back to the top again.
Yeah, when you look at Joe Johnson, when you can play at all 3 levels, and what I mean by that, finish in the paint, mid-range game, but also the three-point game, and in the Big 3, the 4-point range. That's why Joe Johnson is so special, and he's very competitive on the defensive end. Don't underestimate Joe. He's not a bad defender.
And he played this year, played a game with the Boston Celtics. Speaking of former C's, let's go to Scal with ISO Joe.
All right, thanks, Ed. So, Joe, 5th season, mentality and goals for this year for you?
For us to get back on the winning circle, obviously, I want to come out and perform, get the fans a show, give them something to see. But at the end of the day, we come to win, man. We want to get back. We want to get back to the championship. We want to bring it back home.
And Joe loves hoops. So let me ask you, when the Celtics called and you got that opportunity, what was that like for you?
It was fun. I was like a kid in a candy store. I went there and I just enjoyed the duration I had, the 10 days, and just getting a chance to play, practice with those guys, sit in film sessions, things like that. That was pretty fun for me.
And Jason and Jalen both pointed to you and said, this is a guy we looked up to. Now, in that last game when you had that bucket, there was no way you were passing that last possession.
Nah. Hey, I got my little moment. I took it. Like I said, I had fun with it. Made a little history, so it was cool, man.
All right, thanks, Joe. Good luck this season. You got it.
Oh, look at that smile. And he made an isolation jumper in the closing minutes against Cleveland. Cube, what a great moment for this league, for ISO Joe, and there in Boston in late December.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've had a few guys make it back. Even Mario Chalmers, he had a few games with the Heat. And, that's what it's all about. They should be looking at our athletes. We got some of the most skilled athletes in the world, and a lot of them belong in the NBA.
Day 1, Season 5, Cube. Enjoy it here in Chicago.
Yay.
We're back with more. We're bringing the fire before Game 1 here from the Windy City. Michael Beasley in the house with Three's Company, making his Big 3 debut today. The walking bucket here in Chicago this afternoon. Well, the Big 3 and Microsoft have teamed up to take statistics and analytics to the next level, evaluating player performance and providing even more insights to fans. Here's a look.
The crew from Microsoft and Noah Basketball had worked to install Azure Connect cameras on top of each of the hoops. And what that's going to do, those are our depth sensing cameras. That's going to actually allow us to see every shot from the floor across all 8 active hoops, all 70 plus players. Every one of their shots, we're going to understand the arc and angle of entry as well as the left to right where it's entering the rim. We brought our Surface Hub 2, which is our largest monitor to show it here at the Combine, as well as the Surface tablets. So each of the coaches is going to have our newest tablet to be able to draw up plays, to be able to see the data in real time and see how their players are doing. Who's hot, who's not.
This is vital to players getting better. I really believe in it.
I'm loving watching these guys, and especially I can't wait to get the analytics from the cameras as you see above.
I call it the shot doctor, but it shows, where guys are hitting, where guys are missing. It shows the arc of the ball. So if you look at your percentages and say, hey, if I shoot 45 degrees, I can make more baskets than if I shoot 50 degrees. You need the analytics. And, hey, it's powered by Microsoft.
Oh, that's where it's going in basketball, certainly in the Big 3. All right, we are closing in on this first day of the Big 3 season. But before we go, as we bring the fire on this first day, you're a resident expert. You know the history of the game. You know this league as well as anybody. We're going to put your mind to the test. How about a little Big 3 trivia? Ask Avery.
I'm nervous.
You ready?
I'm ready. Bring it on. Bring the fire.
All right, this is kind of easy, we think. Avery, who has scored the most points in Big 3 history?
Well, on this list, I know it's not Steven Jackson. I'll say Ricky Davis.
Whoa! And by the way, no one knew of the questions or the answers leading into this, but Ricky Davis, he really can score from all 3 levels in the Big 3.
Yeah. And, especially coming off screens, he does a really good job of moving without the basketball. So even though it's 3-on-3, you can't find him all the time because he does a good job of using his speed, moving around the floor.
All right, where was this guy? Where was Avery Johnson in 2017? You're coaching Alabama, but do you remember who scored the first basket in Big 3 history? Was it AI, Rashard Lewis, Simon Johnson?
Well, I would love to say AI because he's one of my favorite players in history. He scored 47 points on me in Philadelphia one game, but I'm going to say Rashard Lewis.
Answer? Ivan Johnson. June 26th.
No!
And there it is. The first basket for the Ghost Ballers in Big 3 history. Okay, you're 1 for 2, but you can close out with a successful answer here. Our third and final question. Ask Avery. Most 4-point shots made in Big 3 history. DeMar Johnson, Mike Bibby, or ISO Joe.
Wow, now this is a complete setup because you would think that it would be Joe Johnson. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that it's Mike Bibby.
This guy's smart. Too smart. 8 4-point shots made by Mike Bibby in his Big 3 career.
Yeah, this guy, he was a real special player when he played with Sacramento. And coming into the Big 3, the 4-point play was tailor-made for Mike Bibby.
How about this guy not answering with a Johnson? Instead it goes Bibby, 2 for 3.
You tried to trick me on that last one.
Good work. By the way, someone who's not part of Tri-State this season is this guy, Nate Robinson. His Big 3 career is over as a player. He's going to be a part of our team with the broadcast, but Nate Robinson, a great player with Tri-State, 4th Man of the Year 3 years ago. We wish little Nate provided some great moments. All the best with the Big 3. All right, Coach. Got some work to do.
Let's go.
Triple header on CBS, beginning with the last 2 champions, triplets and Trilogy coming up from Chicago. So for Avery Johnson, Ryan Scalabrini, great to be joined by Ice Cube. I'm at Cohen. We're joining you on CBS with the first of 3 games coming up from the Windy City.